What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Your boy Ryan LFC back again, guys. Another top shelf video for you guys today. I have a special guest on the show, one of Jamaican greatest striker of all time. And when I'm saying all time, I'm telling you all time. He have over 469 appearances in senior football in England. He play at every single level in England. Marlon King, what's up, my brother? Welcome to the channel, man.
Is it, my guy? You okay? God bless you and hope you're safe, man.
I'm doing good, man. Thank you very much to take the time out and come talk to Ryan LFC and share your story with us. So first thing, King.
Yeah.
What is the family doing?
Family's blessed. We can't complain. We're safe. We're healthy. COVID-free. There's difficult times, very strange times for everybody around the world. So can't complain. Just taking day by day, man, like everybody else, you know. Just trying to adjust to the new protocol of what's been asked of us in terms of like rules and regulations and how we're supposed to move, mask, sanitizing, you know, social distancing. So it's all new to everybody, but we're adjusting. The sound's gone, bro. The sound.
Sorry, I hear the government was saying for 2 months, like 2 years to 3 years, this coronavirus, they will get rid of it. We all know the coronavirus has affected every single body across the world. This virus, you have to respect it. You have to listen to the higher opinion in the country and just do the right thing, people. So sanitize, wear your mask, and do what you have to do.
100%.
King,
stay safe.
My first question for you today. Tell us about your childhood life in South London, growing up.
Yeah, man, I was born and raised in Peckham, South London. And it was, you know, it was a good childhood, very, very rough, but it was a good childhood, you know. But, you know, at the same time, you know, when you ain't got mum and dad at home, it's different, it's difficult. Like I'm sure a lot of people can understand. But you just find a way, you know, and football kind of navigated me out of any serious problems.
100%. So your family all right, your wife all right, your mama, your father all right, everybody okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
yeah, everyone's good, man. Everyone's good. No complaints.
Okay, great to know that and stuff. But my second question to you, I hear a lot of Jamaicans say they want to born in United States or in America or England to play professional football. Do it easy if you're born in England, or many Jamaicans have problem to get overseas to play in the English Premier League or get in England to play their country.
Listen, there's two answers to that question. One, yes, and two, no. One, I say yes because you have places that have facilities and outlets for you to be able to practice and get the exposure. So on that sense, you know, you have a bigger platform to be able to perform on, whereas in Jamaica, maybe the facilities and opportunities are very limited to be seen. There's not so many big clubs, and you know, whether it be lower league or the high league for other clubs to come and see you. On the other hand, you are competing against a wider range of people, whereas Jamaica's got maybe the population 2-3 million. UK and America, you're competing up against multi-millions of people. So it's not just you that's got talent, there's a whole heap of people that's next to you that can do something just as well as you. So it's a pro and a con, you know. But if you look at what Jamaica produce in terms of athletes, It's a high number. We're not just talking about people that were born in Jamaica. I'm talking about people that are, have Jamaican heritage, that have gone on to represent different countries, maybe because they don't have the facilities of the Americas, the Canadians, of UK and Europe. There's so many. Look how many people can qualify to represent the country, not just through football, but through athletics, whether it be basketball. You can go back to Patrick Ewing, Michael Johnson. These are guys of Jamaican heritage that have somehow gone to represent America just because of what it provides. When you're an exceptional talent, you get tapped up, you get agents, you get big facilities saying, no, Nike want to back you, so you got to go over to the big stage to kind of get the opportunity, So it's a pro and a con.
Definitely. And you as a big superstar, you start from the lower league in England, coming up. What it is like to play in the lower division coming up?
Yeah, it's it's fun, but it's tough because, as I said, there's so much raw talent, so much raw talent that it's small margins determine whether you make it or not. Because I've got friends that are more talented than me, better than me, but for some other reason they've taken a different direction. So yeah, it can be good, but it can be rough at the same time. You just got to see it through. If you've got a dream and you believe in something, you just got to stick it out.
Definitely. In 1980, well, that's from 1998 to 2000, right? You make 53 appearance and score 14 goals for your League 3 team. And in 2000, you get a move to go to Gillingham. How that come about?
Yeah, basically, like I was trying out for Millwall. Millwall were in what we'd call the first division back then, but that was the same as the Premier League, and I didn't make it, so I had to step back, play for Dulwich Hamlet, which was my local team, which is non-league football, and then professional teams came in, and when I was doing that, I was still quite young, so when they were coming in, Dulwich Hamlet wasn't telling me, other teams were coming in for me because I wasn't old enough to sign a professional contract, meaning they couldn't ask for a transfer fee for me because I wasn't 16. So I didn't know. So when I turned 16 and I was still playing in the big man's team, I found out about Barnet. I went Barnet to try out, and then I played there for a few months with the youngsters, with the youth team, and then they pushed me up to the first team, and I scored a few goals, and then I went on to Gillingham, which were in the Championship. And that's how I got my move.
And for Gillingham, you have 101 appearance and scored 40 goals from 2000 to 2003. That's the first season in the Championship, and coming up from the lower division and score 40 goals. That's a lot of goal, King.
Yeah, it was a different experience. I was only young, and it was I enjoyed it at Gillingham because Gillingham were another team that gave me the platform to. I had a manager that believed in me, and I really enjoyed my time there. So it was it really gave me the experience of big man football, should I say? Because it's a different Championship is a very, very tough league.
Definitely. I hear a lot of people talk about the Championship, and Liverpool just signed Ben Davies from the Championship from Preston, and a lot of people say, why Liverpool going down in the Championship to sign a player to play in the Premier League and the Champions League? When I look at the clip, he's a very good player on the ball. He rough, he can be physical, he can jiggle with the ball. So I know a lot of players playing down in the championship. That no mean they play in the championship, they cannot play in the Premier League. Look at this guy who play
Lingard,
for Leicester City, Lingard,
um,
Madison. A
Madison.
lot of them, we can go through them. A lot of them coming up, but in 2002, 2003, you score against Arsenal, your local team, the team that you support, thinking
Yeah.
the FA Cup. Tell me about that feeling. You score at the
Hybrid.
not the Arsenal hybrid. Tell me about that experience. And
Yeah,
why
it
you
was.
didn't celebrate?
That's my team that I supported growing up. So it was one of those ones where I had a lot of family and friends in the Arsenal end. You know, it was a big thing for me because, you know, I was still finding my feet playing as a professional footballer, and then to go to Highbury and play against Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Henry, all of those players, it was, you know, you're in awe of these guys, and being a team that I was watching at the time and I was supporting. So when I weren't playing for Gillingham, I was tuning into TV to watch Arsenal play. So to go there and to score and to play in a game like that was brilliant for me, you know.
I know I want to talk about Arsenal a little bit. You know, in that time, 2003, 2004, 2005 coming up, Arsene Wenger, you have the Patrick Vieira, you have the Tony Adams, you have a lot of great players playing for Arsenal. At that time, I was very young, but I always ask most of these big players, O'Neal Bigger Thompson, you're familiar with that guy who usually play for Jamaica national team. I asked him, why you support Arsenal? Because Arsenal not good enough. He said, listen to me. Back in the days, 2000 coming up under Arsene Wenger, Arsenal played the best football. And I was interested and I want to know about Arsenal. I go back and watch this clip. Arsenal was so excellent. Arsene Wenger, he come and change the English football. He bring a lot diet and this. Talk about them.
Yeah, Arsene Wenger, he was a big tactician in terms of, and he was like more like a scientist, you know, with diet, dentist, make sure your teeth are good, make sure you're eating well, you're sleeping well. The way, if you look at Man City playing with Pep Guardiola, you know, that's the stuff Arsene Wenger was doing back in the 2000s. So, and then to go a whole season with being undefeated. You know, the unbeatables that season there, where they went a whole season without losing a game. Yeah, I don't think that will be done again. So, you know, Arsenal are a force to be reckoned with, and I hope soon we can get back to those kind of days, but it seems a long way off.
Definitely with Stan Kroenke, he just taking out of the club and don't want to spend. Arsenal going through a rough time. Liverpool going through it a couple years ago. And the FCM FSG, since Jurgen Klopp come, FSG looking great because without Jurgen Klopp, I don't think we, Liverpool, would have been right up there, winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League. He's like my father. I look up to Jurgen Klopp. He has done so much for this club and stuff. And I really appreciate what Jurgen Klopp said before he even started to win things. He said, if he don't win a major trophy in him third year, he going to coach in Switzerland. And he promised come true. He promised the fans that, and everything just come great for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have waited 30 years for any sort of silverware. So no, I mean, you guys enjoyed the run, but it's once you got a manager like Pep Guardiola in that league, he's not going to sit back for too long and watch Liverpool just dominate. So I think last season was kind of like a kick up the butt for Pep, and he was like, no. Okay, so I'll give you that season, and now he's accelerating again, and you know the guy is if you look at the managers in that league, Pep, Mourinho's, Klopp's, the Solskjaers, it's a strong league. Even Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. So even the teams that are seen to be or perceived to be a little bit weaker are strong teams. When you come up, even what Moyes is doing at West Ham, you can't go to any team and think that you're guaranteed the points. They're gonna be tough games, and that's what makes the Premier League exciting.
With Manchester City, with a lot of money, Pep Guardiola, they're very hard to stop, man. It's very hard for Liverpool to keep up with them because we have the American owner and they don't want to spend big. And in football nowadays, this is where it gone. It has to spend for win things. If you're not spending, what Jurgen Klopp do? No other team different from Leicester City ever done
bro,
that.
You have spent money. Van Dijk, who's Liverpool legend, he cost 75 million. Your goalkeeper,
Arsene.
These what I'm saying. These guys didn't come for free. So they were.
King. Listen, these man not spending the money, King. They sell Coutinho. King, these man not selling this. These man not putting any money in the club. They sell Coutinho. And we bought Van Dijk. If we never sell Coutinho, we would never see Van Dijk and we would never see Arsene and we would never see Fabinho. That's the spine Liverpool missing over the years. A good goalkeeper, a good centre-back, a good midfielder. Look at Arsenal. How many times Arsenal come close in 2012, 2011? They just miss a few at the puzzle. A defensive midfielder, a solid goalkeeper.
Well, what you got to understand, it's a business. So this is the thing. When you can get more money for just qualifying for Champions League than you do for winning the Premier League, as an owner, why are you going to keep spending 70 million when you can just qualify for the top 4 and get the same, if not more money than if you're winning the Premier League? You see what I'm saying? So you're speaking from a fan's perspective. But then if you bought the club and you're looking at the numbers, you're going to go, hold on a minute. Why am I spending this? All we need to do is qualify for top 4. You get top 4, you get an 80 million, 100 million plus just to be in the Champions League from TV revenue, etc. So they look at all the dynamics of running a club. They don't just look at it from a fan's perspective to say, oh, look, we need this player, we need that player. Sometimes they tell the manager, listen, you have to hold tight. What you done last season, try and get close with the squad that you got from last season because we want to make some more money also. It's a business. Football is a big, big business. That's what you got to understand.
I agree with it 100%. Sometimes we as the fans outside, King, we want to be happy and stuff. But,
I know.
But King, to see us win the league so far, and we need to sign a few players. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool has done great business in the summer to bring in a world-class player like Thiago Alcantara and bring in a player like Diego Jota. No one knows Diego Jota will come good. We really miss him. But we sell Lovren and we did not replace Lovren. Why you sell Lovren and don't replace him? You tell us Fabinho going to be the 4th strike centre-back. No. You making the same mistake that Manchester City made last season. They said Vincent Kompany leave, you did not replace him. When you have key player leave your squad, it has to replace them, else they're going to in serious trouble.
But that's you speaking from as a fan. Like as a business, they're thinking, okay, if the pot to invest is 200 million and we've spent the 200 million, and they've made back 100 million, they want to make back the other 100 million. So before they spend another 100 million, they want to get back the money that they've put in. So they want to utilize what's there already. They're hoping Salah keeps scoring. They're hoping Van Dijk is injury free, because for me, until Van Dijk got injured, you guys were, you're invincible. He's a big link, not just for playing on the field, but his leadership. He allows players like Mane and Salah to express themselves because he takes pressure off the midfield. The midfield take the pressure off the front three. So nobody's expecting Van Dijk, you know, when he's played every game and he's just this monster, for him to get injured, you know, the manager's gone in and said, listen, we need to get X, Y, Z, and the chairman's probably saying, no, you know what, use Fabinho centre half, or bring in X, you know, bring in this from the youth team. And there's so many different dynamics to the game just to what fans see from their perspective, you know. So decisions to a fan might seem weird from the outside, but from when you're running the club and you're looking at the books, that's how the decisions are made, not from a fan's point of view.
You're right. But King, I want to say to you, because you were in the situation, you were in the dressing room. When a team becomes successful, right? Like Liverpool, they become successful. They do not really buy world-class player. They buy player and improve them. But I realized when I was cussing my owner, say they tight. They penny pinchers. They just taking out and not putting back. But what I realized, I go and look at the wage bill. I realize this current Liverpool team, Steve Gerrard never see these money with Mohamed Salah get in the Liverpool career. When this Liverpool team, out of any other Liverpool team, they get more money. So Liverpool becomes successful. Instead of them buy more player, they give the player them like a Sadio Mane, them tie down them to a long-term contract, improve them because they has been performing week in, week out, come up with the goods. I think a lot of fans take this thing for granted because 2017 Liverpool make 263 million just to go to the Champions League final. Revenue, sponsorship, TV money, they make 263 million. And they didn't win the Champions League, they lose because they make a lot of money. But I don't want to turn this in a Liverpool show, but King, you think King, do you think fans turn a blind eye on that, on the wages, especially when it becomes champion and you win a lot of stuff?
I understand the fans' perspective. I understand them getting frustrated, but at the same time, it's a business. Liverpool have waited 30 years for any sort of a form of silverware. That's what people got to understand. You guys have been Liverpool fans are very low. They waited 30 odd years for some piece of silverware. So you mustn't get too above you. That season where you won the Champions League and you won the league, you let it soak in, because as I said, the competition now is a lot higher. Teams now, you got Leicester's winning leagues, and the competition is so much closer. Aston Villa beating Man U. What happened to Aston Villa? So when Steven Gerrard and those guys are playing, that would never have happened. You never go to an Aston Villa and lose 7+. So, but what's happening now? Because of social media, because of the expansion of how big the Premier League is, other teams now are getting higher spending power. The Leicesters, the Aston Villas, even the margins are closing up. The gaps are closing up now. So it's like that one or two player now can tweak a team. Grealish at Villa, and Watkins and stuff, where they're forced to be, so it's not like, oh, Liverpool going to beat Villa. You don't know what the score's going to be now. So that season that you had, that was a one-off. You was never ever going to repeat that in the next season. It just don't happen unless you're Alex Ferguson, where the guys are God. So to repeat that, to maintain that, for teams to fear you like that, it's rare in football. Anybody can beat anybody now, especially in the Premier League. Anybody. Look at Leeds are going and they're beating teams. So
You're right. You're right, King. Definitely, I totally understand and stuff for kind of asking a little bit. But King, let's get back to your career, because this is your story. It's not a Liverpool thing. This is not an Arsenal thing.
No, it's
so
a Liverpool thing,
Liverpool
man.
fans.
Look at your wallpaper. Look. I see Liverpool everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the yellow and green can't even dismantle the red, the big red background I can see behind you.
Yeah. But King,
Yo,
you play for Gillingham. You 101 appearance for them, 40 goal. In 2003, 2005, you go and play for a massive team in England. Massive. When I say massive, massive. Nottingham Forest is a big team. Just like Liverpool, Aston Villa, Everton, they has won the Champions League already. They are doing great in Europe back in the days. Talk to me a little bit about them. They have 50 appearance and 10 goal for Nottingham Forest.
yeah, no, I didn't enjoy my time at Forest. I think for me it was one of them ones where I got my move. One, it was in January, and moving in January is not. I wouldn't suggest that to any youngster or any football player. Moving in January, try and get your move in the summer where you got time to blend with your team and figure out where you fit in, and you know. But I went there as a youngster, man, coming from London, and I moved up to the Midlands, and just weren't comfortable for me, man. I didn't really enjoy it, and I really enjoyed living in the city. I enjoyed the club, the people at the club, but I just, it's one of them things where workplace, it just wasn't comfortable for me, and I didn't really get to show my real form there.
Definitely. I know a lot of footballers now. They don't want to come Liverpool, especially when Liverpool not winning. They always want to go to Chelsea. They always want to go to Arsenal. They always want to go to the big city. It appealing to them family and every single thing. How important that is to live in the city?
I think, yeah. Well, I think for especially for international players, it's a big factor to play in a capital. I think it's people like Chelsea, the Arsenals, the Manchesters. They're big capitals. So they attract players based on, because players do look at their lifestyles. They look at where they live in. They investigate like what's the lifestyle like. So that's a big part of attracting players. So, but for me personally, going to Forest, I was a youngster, man. My head was still too much in London, where I was born, and just didn't adjust. It's just one of those things. It's, some workplaces you might go into, you might just kick off with everybody where you enjoy it and it's vibing and you enjoy it, and then you might go to another workplace where there's no vibes and you don't like your boss, and certain your workmates they don't like you, don't like them. It's just one of those things, man. And football's no different.
Definitely. In 2005, you loaned to Leeds United.
Yeah, I went to Leeds. Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Yeah, go on.
So in 2005, I thought I lost you a while ago, so I was just repeating back what I said. I said in 2005, I went to Leeds, massive club, one of the big club in England. Still is. Went on loan, 9 appearance, no goal. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that was, to be fair, it was like end of the season. I went on loan from Nottingham Forest. So it was kind of I just wanted to get out of Nottingham. Then when I went there, they were playing me in midfield, right midfield, and then playing me I was coming off the bench. So it was kind of, I went there to kind of see the season out. It wasn't so much to get a move to Leeds. It was more like I just wanted a change of atmosphere. And then when I went there, Kevin Blackwell was the manager at the time. He was playing me on the wing, whereas I was a striker. He was playing me right midfield, left wing. So, it was one of those ones where I just wanted to kind of see out my spell at Forest and try something new.
Definitely. In that same year, 2005, he went to Watford on loan. 21 appearance, 12 goal for Watford. The fans love you at Watford. What's so special? You have a band with the Watford fans. What's so special about Watford? The fans love you.
Yeah, I just feel like when I went there, it was a club. One, it was closer to London, as I explained to you before. So I came back down from North. I was back around my family members and stuff. And two, it was just a situation where the club was a smaller club to those bigger clubs, so the expectation weren't so great. And then it just, when you just it's just a bit like playing for Jamaica. You just settle and you just come in and you do your thing straight away, and then the fans just take to you, and you build your confidence from there.
Definitely. And then that same year, he just steered to 2000, 2005 to 2008. You have 81 appearance and 36 goal. Championship player of the season, Watford player of the season. That was a great season. Score in the playoff to take Watford in the English Premier League. Talk to me about that season.
Yeah,
Unbelievable season for King.
no, for everyone associated with Watford, because I think before I came there, they were relegation favourites because a lot of their big players had left. They were in the Premier League, then they played in the Championship, and then a lot of their big players were leaving or left. So a lot of the players that were coming in were either not playing at the clubs they were coming from, or they weren't heard of. So even the manager, AD Buford, who's a good friend of mine, he nobody knew. It was his first managerial job, so it was kind of, oh, we're not sure how we're going to do. People think we're going to get relegated. So to go on that season and to get promoted the way we did was a special season.
Definitely. I think a lot of people remember you say you would what you is what would you say? You think that's your biggest achievement to take a team in the Premier League and scoring a lot of goal for fun? That season you scored 36 goal king. That's a lot of goal to score in our championship. Championship is like the Premier League.
Yeah, it's a tough league. Yeah, I think there's other accolades that I've achieved, but I think that season is one of the standout seasons for me, to be honest. I mean, scoring a hat trick at the office in a World Cup qualifier is up there. Playing in Europe, but yeah, that's one of the standout seasons for me, where we got promoted through the playoffs because we beat Palace and we beat Leeds, and during that season we never beat Palace and we never beat Leeds. They were like two strong teams, with some quality players, and we beat Palace 3-0 in the semi-final, and then we beat Leeds 3-0 in the final. So the way we done it as well was big.
Yeah, definitely. And in that season, you guys when come to the Premier League. And before that, before I talk about a little bit that, I want to step back a little bit because I want to talk to your journey playing for the Jamaican national team. You have 24 appearance and you have 12 goal. Goal scoring record is fantastic to play 24 match and have 12 goal. Not a lot of international player have that achievement you have. All the Jamaican thing come about.
So basically, I was 2002, 2003. I got approached from Republic of Ireland. So I mean, I wasn't even looking at playing international football. I was trying to establish myself as a professional, um, on a higher level, and I got approached. And then when I looked to do my paperwork for the Republic of Ireland, I found there was some grey areas because my mum, she's got Irish parents, but my mum was adopted. So we knew my mum's father was, from St. Lucia, but her mother was Irish. But because she was adopted and from really as a baby, she didn't have no no track of her history. So we left it alone. We didn't really chase it up. And then I started doing well for Gillingham, and then I had rumours of like Jamaica. Obviously, my father being Jamaican, my grandparents being Jamaican. And then I got a call from Captain Burrell and Coach Carl Brown to say, listen, we want you to come on board. And then it went from there. And then they just got my passport within a matter of days, and I was out there. I flew out there for, I think it was against Venezuela. It was my debut. It was on a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday at the office, Venezuela it was. And I scored on my debut and never looked back since, to be honest.
Definitely. Carl Brown is a very good coach. Coached me at Boys Town, you know, so I know about Carl Brown. So, but what would you say the biggest problem Jamaica didn't qualify? Because you guys was having a good team.
Yeah, well, it was close, man. I mean, look, it's a strong competition. If you look at South American teams, even Panama, Mexico, US of A, it's a strong group that Jamaica always faces to qualify for the World Cup. So, it's going to take. And if you look at the players now, right forward to now, you look at the players that can qualify. They need every single player in terms of being home-based and players that play abroad to come together alongside the JFF to present the best platform for these players to produce and to give Tapa, Theodore Whitmore, the best opportunity to move on to the bigger stage, because you qualify for the World Cup. It changes not just the look on Jamaican football, but the whole nation changes. You know, in terms of crime, in terms of job opportunities, in terms of financial revenue, it changes the whole dynamics of how Jamaica is perceived.
I think that this current Reggae Boyz team with player like Mariapa, you have Andre Blake, one of the best goalkeeper in MLS, best goalkeeper in CONCACAF in the last 2 to 4 years. He has been dominant. I don't know how him don't get a move to come in Europe. But you have Leon Bailey, you have player like Shaman Nichols, you have Ravel Morrison, excellent player. He's going to bring a great thing to this Jamaican team. It's been for the last 10 years, we're just crying out for a very good midfielder like Ravel Morrison. He have every single thing in him locker to make sure that Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, Shaman Nichols, he's a very good creative player, and I know you are a very good friend of Ravel Morrissey. What could you tell the viewers them a little bit? What kind of player Jamaica get? Make him debut a couple months ago for Jamaica.
Yeah, Rav, I think Rav is, and when I spoke to him, I just told him, I said, they'll love you out there, bro. I think you're like the English Theodore Whitmore, where you silky skills, are smooth on the ball, easy on the eye, and can do things. He can tackle, he can take a player on, he can create, he can pass, and he works his socks off, and Jamaicans love that. And I think from his debut against Saudi, I think you saw the potential of what he can do. Now it's just a matter of putting and fine-tuning what's going on off the field in terms of the JFF discussing match fees and all that stuff. I mean, those things should be dealt with way before big competitions coming up. You understand? And I think I've been saying it for a long time, like these things need to be stipulated, put in place, so every player that gets off the plane, they know exactly what they're stepping into. You know, we're still having discussions that are years old about match fees, bonuses. You know, these things, they should have been dealt with ages ago. You know, you can't have those things with such big competitions coming out, because other players look at it and think, bloody hell, like, is this what I'm going to step into? So we're going to have meetings at late night, and all the media is going to be dominated by what the JFF president's saying, what players. It shouldn't be JFF versus the players. It should be all one thing. You know, it should be Jamaica as a whole, but it's like the federation against the players. And that's how it's always been, and it shouldn't be like that.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you with this player, with this JFF power. You know, they're doing something where the country and a whole do not really like, because when Lowe said we need to put things on paper, they don't want a trail thing. They don't want a paperwork. And these guys are very educated, especially right now. Most of these youth on the Jamaican team went to college. They know the business. They study business. So we can't have the same problem we'll have 20 years ago with your time, Bibi Gardner, with Fuller. The federation need to do better. They need to do better. 2 years ago, we played in the Gold Cup semi-final. Player sticking up, they're not going on the bus. They need to get their money. And we have a semi-final in the Gold Cup. That cannot continue happening. And this is what I don't think we have some bright person running the football. We need more people. They need to put player first. Player is very important. When I was playing football, when I was playing in my school, my coach always said, listen, you will never get a next treatment like this, or the club or the school has put in a lot of effort for me. Us comfortable. Once we comfortable, you will definitely get result. And this beef with the JFF and the player, how can the player them playing for 5,000 US 2015? And this current crapper time now, the Reggae Boyz have the same problem. You telling you're going to pay $2,000 US, take it or leave it. This cannot continue, King. And this is what all in but the football. We have some quality player. I hear Leon Bailey said, if we don't qualify for the World Cup, it's the JFF. Why you feel offended about that? Because you guys haven't been doing the right thing over the years. So the player have a right to say he do an interview. Nothing wrong with that. But they know what they're doing. They don't want nobody to sign on paper. They just want to give you the money. No, that's not how it go. And when player outside, as we say, like a Nathan Redman, want to come to represent for Jamaica, when he see this dominate in London, in England, see things like this, that give player to think, and the JFF just need to fix up. How can we don't have a sponsor for our national team? We have player like Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed. You can tell me the JFF cannot Instagram promote shirt. Well, we can go on the website and buy a Jamaican shirt. Nothing. When you look at the JFF Instagram, months they don't upload nothing. When you look at their YouTube, months they don't upload nothing. You have other ways. You don't have to have big sponsor to promote a player. This is modern time. You have a Leon Bailey shirt with a number 7, you know how much money. And this is the same thing the player them saying. We have enough quality player, good player. We can market the player. Look at this King. It's Corona now in Jamaica. The Premier League haven't been starting back for the last year. And they're trying to go into the new season. And these guys get sponsored 200 million and more in a less than 8 months. What the JFF has been doing. And the same thing, when the player them saying you're not doing enough to market, to get sponsor, they have a problem.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's a collective of thing. It's frustrating because these same conversations have been going on for years, even when I was in the setup, and it's a shame that we're still having the same conversation years later. But it's for the JFF now to take responsibility and say, no, we need to start getting more and taking more responsibility for our organisation. These conversations should be behind closed doors between the JFF and the players. Shouldn't be hashed out on social media. But it's come to that point now where the players when they do talk in private, their words are used against them. So, with the Damien Lowe conversations, they have to be recorded so people understand what's going on behind closed doors. Because if you don't do that, then there's ways that people can manipulate the media. I mean, even, I'll be honest with you, the whole thing of players getting their passports, that's not true. I mean, I know the majority of the players the list that they put up, and I speak to them, and that's not the current situation of them getting passports. A lot of players are unsure of whether the Jamaican national team is set up for that can take them to the next level. Because you got to understand, like, when you're a football player, you are a brand. You are, your club football ultimately is what pays you your biggest wages. So when you choose a national team, players look at how that helps their brand, how that helps get them the next move. So if you're Mikel Antonio, you're doing well in the English Premier League, do I play for Jamaica or do I play for England that can get me a 40 million, 50 million pound move? Then you've got the manager saying, well, I don't want you flying 9 hours to Jamaica, being 6 hours behind, you come back jet lagged, or if you get injured and I lose my star player and we don't get the results, I get sacked. There's such a domino effect when players are choosing to play for their national team. When you play for the England setup, there is no conversations of per diem, match fee, training facilities. Everything is done for you. So it makes a decision easier when you're playing for an establishment that have a setup that's comparable to your club football. So your body doesn't need to adjust. You're not training on AstroTurf. You're not being able to worry about pitches having big holes where you can twist your knee, and they don't have the medical stuff. There's so much behind these players making a decision instead of just people saying, no, come and play for Jamaica. It is a very, very fantastic opportunity, a very honourable opportunity. But at the same time, every player has their reasons for making their decision. So I always say this, like, it's not as easy as everybody go, no, these players only want to play for the World Cup. They obviously, because they know the World Cup stage is what gives them the platform then to get a bigger move. It's a business. And that's what people got to understand. Football is a business. As much as we don't like it, as much as the fans get upset, it is a business at the end of the day. From the director, the board, the chairmans, all the investors, right down to the players. It's a business. And that's how it is.
Definitely. Yes, I was listening to Leon Bailey. I totally agree with every single thing. The same story you're sharing, that's the same thing Leon Bailey has shown. The man said every single body have to on the same wavelength. Him say at Liverpool, they have a system up to the person who deal with the water. Come right up. The person who clean the boots, go right up to the big person. On the same wavelength. We're trying to achieve the same thing. We cannot have the JFF doing that. And it's so funny, King, when you said most of these players what they said on the list. I know that is not true. I know they're in a negotiation with the players them and they're just trying to frighten the player them. Because really and truly, how long you think to get a passport, a Jamaican passport? If you have their father or your grandparents and you have the documents, it take up to 3 months or 6 months. Depend on how quick you can get the documents. How long it take to get your documents, King?
It didn't take long, but what it is, I think, I hope it is true. But I as I said, it's not as easy as just throwing some names out there where a player has Jamaican heritage and thinking that they're going to come and play for the national team. There's so many other aspects that need to be taken care of, that these players have representatives. Especially these players that are playing in the Premier League, even Ivan Toney. I mean, he's got 25 goals in the Championship. He's on the verge of a big move. Does he? He's got to look his brand. Like, what if I get called up for England? My buy-in fee now shoots up. You know, he's been, obviously Gareth Southgate has probably been looking at him, and he's just weighing it out to see what his best option is, because he has to look after Ivan Toney. You know, he has to look after the Toney family. So it's not just as easy as somebody coming up and saying, oh yeah, this player, that Nathan Redmond I speak to all the time, what's the setup like? Kingy, what's it like, Kingy? What am I supposed to say? No, they got the best facilities in the world. I've just got to say, no, it's a privilege to play for Jamaica. You do well, the fans love you, but it's a bit different to what you're used to. These players are coming from playing on the best pitches in the world, having the best facilities, and getting the biggest wages, then to compromise that where you might, you know, you might have a dip in form, you might get injured playing for Jamaica, and then you go back to your club form, and then your contract's running out, and we've seen it happen before, where players have come to the end of their contract, go and play for Jamaica, and then they get injured. You know, it happened to my good friend Nairo Noseworthy, who's come to the end of his contract, went to play for Jamaica, and he ripped his Achilles. Jamaica didn't have any insurances for him. His club were like, well, listen, you got injured on international duty. We can't offer you a new contract, and his career's over. So you know, it's not as easy as just throwing a list out there. I hope all of these players come on board and give us the best chance, but realistically, it's so far off. If the JFF can't do simple things like getting match fees and per diems and the basics done, then how do they manage big name players? You know,
I totally agree with you, because you were talking about Nathan Redmond. I know he always asking him about Jamaica, but my advice, I would love him to come and play for the Jamaican national team, but I am going to say this. At this moment, Nathan Redmond going through a tough time, not playing a lot at Southampton right now. He just need to more focus on him club thing, settle down and find himself in a groove. But seriously, because come and play for Jamaica if these guys can do the right thing. Much as this guy, Nathan Redmond, to come and get injured. Very good player, former Newcastle, Norwich player
Birmingham.
And stuff. So
Norwich,
Birmingham, Norwich. So he played for a lot of club. And he's a quality player, and he's still young. He's 27, you know. So he have a lot of time to make him decisions. But at this moment, him just going to not starting too many games for Southampton.
That's what he said to me. He said, King, I'm just trying to get my form for. I mean, remember, he represented the England national team as well. So, but I know it was a friendly, so he still qualifies to play for Jamaica. But at the same time, it's not a case of people don't want to represent Jamaica. What does it do for their career? How, you know, it has to kind of make sense, or you need to be really passionate about playing for Jamaica and really want to come, you know. So Leon Bailey obviously was born in Jamaica and he's Jamaican through and through. So but you know, there's other players. Raheem Sterling was born in Jamaica.
Yeah, Mar Valley.
Right.
He's from Mar Valley.
And
yeah, and
he, you know,
right, go for it.
No, I'm just saying, like, how do you can't criticize him for making a decision, because he's made a life-changing decision that's worked out for him and his family. You know, his family never have to work again. So when you get an opportunity like that, it's hard to turn down. And he's improved, and he's gone on to establish himself as one of England's top players. So, you know, fair play to him. And you get it. You get other athletes. You get. I mean, it's very rare. And I'll say Usain Bolt is a rare example of somebody saying, no, I don't want to run for America. I'm Jamaican. I'm going to stay in Jamaica. But you have to have that unique talent where you get to make that decision. You see what I'm saying? Because Usain, he's a freak of nature. Like, there's no one else like him. So he can say, no, the coaches have to come to me. I'm not leaving Jamaica. You have to come to me. I'm not going to America, because he's got such a unique talent that he could make that decision. Whereas not other players that were born in Jamaica, if they get opportunity, they got to go to further themselves. He didn't have to, because the world's his oyster. The man's a freak of nature, you know. He's a legend. So
he's a good athlete, man. I remember when he had the decision to go to college, he said no, you want to go to college in Jamaica, and he have him same coach from high school come right up, never change and stuff. So that's a great thing. But big up to Sterling, scorer over 100 goal for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola really take him game to the next level, improve him.
100%.
He's still, you know, this is football. You have some player just miss some easy chance and stuff, but he's an excellent player. We cannot go around that. Whether me love him or not, still love him. He's a Jamaican, but you know, leave Liverpool, heartbreak.
Liverpool, yeah, I can hear that you're a bit upset about him leaving. So we'll leave that.
No, he's not upset. He's not. I don't really upset him, but because at the time we were a dark shit. We weren't going nowhere, and the youth have a great future, and you want to prolong that. And at the time, Manchester City were the team. And remember, same like you when they say go Nottingham first, when the coach playing out a different position, playing midfield, playing on the wing. Sterling, Brendan Rodgers at the time, feel like him ego bigger than everybody else, not taking any talk. Start to play Sterling at centre forward, start to play him at midfield, start to play him out a position, and that gets Sterling.
But he's not the first one though, bro. You got Suarez left, Torres left.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so he's not the first one. I don't see why, you know, if he's got the opportunity to go and double his wages and go on to play for and win titles, because at the time Liverpool weren't really winning anything. So he's looked at it and said, you know, there's an opportunity for me to play and improve my game, earn more money. It just made sense for him. This is what I'm saying. When a player makes a decision, it ain't on what team they support. It ain't about the country. They're making, first and foremost, they have to take care of their family and they have to do what's right for their career. So you have to understand, like, when players are a bit reluctant to play for Jamaica, they're looking at every aspect. What's the setup like? What's the facility? So now they're going on YouTube. Every other YouTube video is the JFF are now disputing with the players. How is that attracting any player that's got the potential to help the team go to a World Cup? Now they're looking at it thinking, well, the Federation are arguing about paying certain match fees, and do I really want to be a part of that? And then the facilities, the training facilities are not there. You know, players they've got agents, they've got people around them that are doing their research on the Reggae Boyz. Don't think that when they make that decision, it's just, oh, the Reggae Boyz have called me up, so I'm just going to come running. They're looking at every aspect. How does it benefit them? How can I improve the team? Will I get in? Who they're playing against? Will it be televised? You know, all of these things play a major role.
Definitely. And big up to Sterling. He has done a lot for him hometown country in Jamaica. So you have to give him a lot of credit.
He's a good guy, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah. A lot of boots in the club where the community him from, give them a lot of boots. Boots after boots king. So we have to big up Raheem Sterling.
Big him up. Big up Rice, man.
Yeah. Big player, man. Big player. But before we go back to your career, I have one more question about the Reggae Boyz, and this is it up on the screen.
Why? If there's any opportunity to qualify for a World Cup, I'd say it's now. With the amount of players that are on offer, based with the local base players and the Andre Blakes and the Leon Baileys, I think it's just final tweaks. It's just small tweaks, couple additions to the already quality squad. Got a chance, man. 100% got a chance. But then again, it's a big if, man. We just need to get rid of these small little details and eradicate them and get a unit. So the JFF and the players, they're all one. You know, I'm sure Theodore Whitmore don't want to have to be in between disputing with the players and disputing with uh, uh, um, the federation of people that employ him. It must be difficult for him. So as soon as that's eradicated and everybody can get on the same page and then attract more quality to the already quality team that Jamaica have, got a great chance, man.
Thank you for your honest opinion. I think we have a great chance, King. Because when you look at it, Costa Rica rebuilding, Panama rebuilding, Honduras rebuilding. We have three teams who always qualify for the World Cup. Always give Jamaica a very good challenge for qualify for the World Cup. But one thing for sure, we have to improve away from home. We are so very poor, King, away from home. What about getting win in Panama, Honduras, and Mexico and USA? Why take Jamaica so long to win there? We win in the United States. You've been there and done that now World Cup qualify. What is it to beat this team at home, but always do very well against this team at the office?
Yeah, I think that's a stigma that can be changed now, especially with COVID, because obviously with fans not being at the grounds, it's just like the 11v11. You know, when you go to the United States, you go to Mexico, and Mexico got 80,000, and you're playing in, you know, the heat and the altitude. It's very difficult. But I think now everybody's got a level playing field because you haven't got that 12th man with the supporters. You know, you go out there and it's almost like not a friendly match, but it's like playing behind closed doors. So if there's a chance to qualify, because usually teams pick up on their supporters' vibe, like you pointed out, Jamaica winning at the office, but away they struggle. Sometimes the fans can, or more time the fans can motivate the players and give them that extra pickup to perform even better. So now you don't have that opportunity with the COVID. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking every team's got an opportunity to qualify because it's like there ain't that added pressure of having fans boo you or get on your back. You can just go out there, express yourself, and get focus on getting a result.
Definitely, King. Thank you very much for that answer. But we're going to move back to your career and stuff. I don't want to have you too long. I know it's very late in England. But after that season, great season, bring Watford back in the Premier League. What happened 2008, 2009? You moved to Wigan Athletic.
Yeah, look, we got promoted, and then I think it's the first 6 games, I got injured for Watford. You know, I was scoring, and then against Arsenal at Emirates, I got injured, and I was taken out for the majority of the season. And then when I saw the surgeon, it was like, you might not ever play football again. So, bearing that in mind, I got myself fit. I came back. They got relegated. Watford got relegated, unfortunately, and then I came back and I was top goal scorer in the league again in the Championship up until December. And then I had quite a few clubs knocking at my door, and it was just in the back of my mind, like, I need to get back to the Premier League. I needed to go because it might be my last opportunity. I don't want to pick up an injury like this again and not being able to taste Premier League football again. So Fulham made a bid, which was accepted, and I went and done my medical. And then when I was doing my medical, Fulham tried to renegotiate the deal with Watford. Watford didn't accept it. And then Wigan came in and paid the fee. And I really wanted to go to Fulham because it was a London team and I didn't have to move and all of those things. And no, Wigan came in. I went Wigan, and it didn't work out for me at Wigan, man. It was just one of those things where I just went through the motions at Wigan, man.
Definitely. But what about leaving Wigan, go to Hull City, 20 appearance, 5 goal on loan, 2008-2009 season?
Yeah, that was a good. That I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the beginning of it because we were. I think we went on a ridiculous run. I think we was like top. We was like third in the Premiership up until around November. And then the game that changed was when we played Man City at the Etihad, and they destroyed us. And it was the famous thing where Phil Brown, the manager at the time, he took us out on the pitch and gave us a good telling off, and he just lost the dressing room from there. And he started playing games with players, and then I just ended up going to Middlesbrough. I left Hull and went to Middlesbrough and loaned for the rest of the season.
You scored 13 goal. You have 13 appearance for them, Middlesbrough, and 2 goal.
Yeah, once again, it was just seeing out the season. It was just, it was a weird season for me. Just, personally and football wise, and just had to reshuffle and then, just go again.
Then 2010, 2011, you get a next move, Coventry City. You have 28 appearance for them and 12 goal.
12 goals, is it? 12 or 13?
Yeah.
Which one?
12 goals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was another one. I went there, had my old Watford manager, Eddie Boothroyd, and I enjoyed it. I didn't really start the season until February, but I still managed to end up top goal scorer and player of the season. So, yeah, man, I just kicked on from there, really.
Yeah, that was a good 6. But you get another move in 2011, 2013. Burnley, Birmingham City, 67 appearance and 29 goal. Your stats very good now. Coming down, look at how many appearances you have for the club. You score a lot of goal, man. You score a lot of goal.
Yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham. At the time, I only signed a 1-year deal with Coventry, and I was 31 years of age at the time. So I said to Coventry, look, I want a 3-year contract. And they were dragging their feet. And it was like, no, we give you a 2-year and a year option. I said, no, I just want a 3-year contract. Take me to 34, 35. Then I can retire after that. They were dragging their feet. And then Birmingham came in and pretty much gave me what I wanted. They gave me a 3-year contract. And I went to Birmingham.
Definitely. And last but not least, you hang up your boots. Again, in the Blades, you have 8 appearance. Former manager at Sheffield United, 8 appearance, 1 goal. I remember that goal.
Yeah, Sheffield
That's
United.
the first clear-cut opportunity too for Sheffield in that last year of your career.
Yeah, it was, as I said, it was, before I signed for Sheffield United, I was basically retiring. I was 34. And I was hanging up my boots, and then I got Lee Carsley, my old teammate, who's like, "Hey, come down to Sheffield, and we're trying to do something here." And it's a big club. It was, I actually enjoyed it there. But I was coming to the end of my career. My knees, just, like the injuries were it was just too much. It was too much for me. So for me, it was kind of like just doing it as a favour to a friend, really, playing for Sheffield United. It wasn't more of I was looking to go there and establish myself. It was more like he just come down and help me out, sort of thing. So that's
King, that's a career. Total appearance for club 469, 162 goals. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's probably more than that, to be honest. I don't know. You've got the stats there. You would know more. I don't really look at it.
Listen, you have a fantastic. Listen, I'm going to say something, and no offense to any other Jamaican player, but I think he was the best Jamaican striker.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that because you've had some quality. You know, obviously Luton, Shelton, rest in peace. Fuller, you had Walter Boyd. Um, who else? Dion Burton. There was a few, but to be regarded as one of the best is a privilege for me, man. I loved it. I love playing for Jamaica. I love the rawness. I love the the fans embrace me, man. I get on with the fans, man. Like my bond with the fans, and that's what was probably difficult for the JFF to get rid of me. Even when I got suspended, they were under pressure to bring me back, because I just had a bond with the fans, and that's one thing that I loved about playing for Jamaica. And a lot of these players that are thinking about coming on board, once you do well for Jamaica, they'll always love you, and that's what I always try and explain to them. Don't watch nothing else. I said to Rav, just go out there, smash it, play like you train, and show them the ability. They will love you. And I'm sure the couple games that he played against Saudi, you see, and fans do take to him because he's a maverick. He's raw. He's just a real kid, real little street kid. So people can relate to that.
You make a debut for Jamaica in 2004, April the 28th, against Venezuela in Kingston. How about the feelings?
To put that's what I said to you. It was. We hit it off straight away. It was a Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday night, Wednesday or Thursday. It was, and I had to get a flight at 11 o'clock. So even though I think the game finished 1-1, was it 1-1?
Yeah, 1-1 at the office.
Yeah, we went 1-0 down, and I scored the equaliser, and then I had to get. I think I got taken off early in the game so I could catch my flight. So I never really even got to enjoy the celebrations because I had to get the last flight because I had to go back and play for my club team. So it was me, Richard Langley, I think a couple other players, and then I got to join up later on for the World Cup qualifiers. I think for the Haiti and the Trinidad games. That's when I really got to meet all the players properly, but I didn't really get to settle straight away.
Yeah. What about this 2008? Talk to me about that feeling. Kingston, Jamaica. Canada. Jamaica versus Canada. What would you say remember in that game?
I remember we had to score, it was 4 goals because and I wasn't part of, because I was on suspension, so I missed out on quite a few games because I got suspended. I missed out on quite a few games in the qualifiers, so I came on board the last 2 or 3 games. So we had to score. We was level on points, but goal difference we were down, and we had to score. I think it was 4 goals, and we scored 3 against Canada. Am I correct?
Yeah. Scored 3 on Canada.
Yeah, we had to score 4, and we won 3-0, and we missed out by going to the World Cup for, is it 1 goal?
Yeah, 1 goal, 2006.
Yeah, it was 1 goal. And
I think that's here the Trinidad go World Cup.
Yeah, that's when Trinidad went, and it was like, it was gutting, man, because we were so close. We were so close, and I just wish that I was part of the setup leading up to those qualifiers, because I felt like I could have helped a bit more and get like maybe a couple more points that would have helped us go to the World Cup. But it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. King, where does sum up yourself as a footballer? Many people as you as one of these robust, bad boy, rude boy. Is that true?
No, I think I'm just real. I think, a lot of football players, they get tagged and they get labeled, but sometimes you have to get to know somebody for you to really be able to judge them. I'm just real, man. I just wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not perfect. I don't think any human being is perfect, and I'm still growing, man. It's growth, and I'm still growing as a person. So that's how I sum myself up, man. Learning every day.
Definitely. Back a couple years ago when you guys get 6 from England, what happened in England that time with the JFF and stuff?
That whole story, I explained it already. I mean, it was a situation where, you know, there was camp in England. We had played for our club teams, and you know, we joined up camp on a Sunday. We played on a Saturday for our club teams. Joined up camp on a Sunday. Trained the Monday morning. Trained the Monday afternoon, and we had the Tuesday off because the game went until the following Sunday. There was no curfew set, but ironically, there was a big discussion about per diem and match fees, because obviously a lot of the Jamaican-based players had found out, which was public news, that they were getting a lot of money from the English Football Federation to play in that friendly game. And the fees that were being offered, especially to the Jamaican-based players, was too low. And I was one of the players that stood up and spoke and managed to negotiate a higher fee. And then, you know, a few of us going out on the Tuesday was used against us to say that our fee will be deducted. So it just, you know, it was all fun and games. It was never really about me breaking any curfew, any player breaking a curfew. It was more to do with that us players spoke up, managed to renegotiate a bigger match fee, and somehow the fee was taken back. You know, we came back in about 11 o'clock at night and we was locked out of our hotel rooms, and we didn't know why. And the first thing we was told, no, we're going to be fined. Our match fees, we're not getting paid to play against England. Ironically, after we just managed to negotiate a bigger fee. So this is what it comes back to what I was saying in these conversations about what Damien Lowe and Blakey's having. They're years old, these conversations, man. But it's just a bit different now because they're coming from Jamaican-born players where people are taking it a bit more serious.
Definitely, King. I don't know what's going on with the Federation, but they are doing this for a long time, and it would surprise me come 2021 they do the same thing with Andre Blake, because Andre Blake, Low, and I think Mariapa doing the back clean out for try to get the player them money sort out and stuff. But it's Corona now, and play have to travel. Last time they go Saudi Arabia, a few Jamaican players get COVID-19 and the players' life in jeopardy, and they has to go back to them family. So they just asking for just a little bit more because it's Corona and stuff, and the JFF going to say they give them the contract Wednesday and say you have until Friday. So they just playing some little dirty game and they play them.
That's not going to happen, though. That's not going to happen, bro. Listen, those bully boy tactics, they can't happen because no one's bigger than the whole of the football team. Without the football team, there is no JFF, vice versa. It's a unity thing, you know. So everyone's got to work together. And it needs to be put to bed sooner rather than later, because other teams and rivals, USA, will go on YouTube, we'll go and see what's going on and say, look, they'll use it as a tool. These guys, their head's not on the game. You know, they're worrying about money. Well, let's get at them early. You know, teams will use that as an advantage. So all of these things need to be swept under the carpet and put to bed, and everybody on the same page. So the manager, his coaching staff, his team, the boys, they can all focus on the game alone. That's it.
Definitely. But King, I have to let you go sometime soon now. But I want to talk a little bit because you're a very successful person off the pitch with a real estate. You have a very good house living in England, and I think that's your company bill. Your house living in London now.
Yeah, no, as I said, I've got my own construction company. I've I've been investing in properties for even since I was playing football. So I always knew that, you know, football was gonna come to an end at some point, and I needed to make sure that me and my family are always good, and that's what we done, you know. So it's important for players, young players now, to get the right advice and also to invest and research themselves, you know. Get on the internet, find out different things to invest in, use their money wisely, and understand that football is just a short career. It could end at any time, and it creeps up on you so quick. And when you finish playing football, no one cares about you, you know, apart from your family. So you just got to make sure you and your family are all right.
Definitely. And see, he's a very good family, man. Seeing these nice pictures on Instagram and stuff. Kids having fun, you and your wife having fun. I just want to tell you, continue to take care of the family and continue being that good person you are. I know your business will get more successful. King. So if you guys live in England, London, I want to link up Marlon King, link him up and stuff. But I want to ask you, what advice would you give the young Jamaican player who want to make it to be a professional footballer? Sum it up for me.
Okay, sum it up quickly. Just make sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunity with your health, your diet, knowing to be disciplined and consistent. Work hard and look to improve all the time. And any temptations that don't help you, stay away from. Also, any opportunity that you get to better yourself, take it. Don't worry about no one else's opinion, because everybody else has got an opinion on you. You just need to believe in yourself, approve yourself before anybody else approves you.
Thank you very much, King. But guys, if you guys interested in one of these lovely cards, go to Cards Plug, use the coupon code Ryan LFC down in the description to get 10% off. King, this is a very good card to get. You're a farmer player. This is a very good card. Cards Plug. You can get your
who's that on the picture? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me, King.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's dope. Me. No, follow that, man. Support it.
He's a very good guy. So, you know, King, you can get one, have it up in your room. I see you have a lot of ex-football player jersey in the gym there. I guy will love the gym too. So I hope one day we'll link up, we can do some gym workout and stuff.
Because when you're ready, man.
Very big, man.
You have to take it easy on me. I'm an old man now.
No. You're still young, man. 40 is a very good age. So at your age, you just look like you're still in a 21, 22. So yeah. But you know, I should ask you this question before I leave. Which different every time you come up against him, you know you're going to have a difficult time.
In the Premier League, I would say Vidic. Amanda Vidic for Man U.
Why?
It was just a problem. He was, you know, with Rio Ferdinand and the John Terrys, they're more technical. With him, he just wants to fight you and rough you up. So you always knew you was in a tough game with him.
Yeah. At least Raheem Sterling him saying afraid that Ibrahimovic, the former Chelsea player.
Yeah. Those Eastern European guys, they don't play around, man.
Yeah, he said when sometimes you look in him eye, it's just him eye alone is scared of.
Well, I'm sure he's just as scared of Raheem Sterling than Raheem is of him. But he has
Raheem Sterling. I was listening to an interview and him say, listen, that guy, man, afraid of that guy, man. He's just big and always up in your face. But I know Village is a player who always want to be physically there, especially when Torres was playing for Liverpool. Torres always take him every time. Always getting red card for Fernando Torres because the quickness of Fernando Torres always give him a lot of problem, you know. But yeah,
we're going back to Liverpool now, isn't it? We're going back to Liverpool now.
No. Which player is your favorite player of all time? I know Arsenal is your team. Your favorite player?
I'd have to say Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, excellent player, man. Do you think him better than Luis Suarez?
Henry, for me personally, yeah. I think Suarez is more of a natural goal scorer. I think Henry, for me, he's unbelievable. His pace, what he used to do to teams, like alone, like go to Milan and score a hat trick, like to do those sort of things. And he did carry Arsenal for a long time, So whereas Suarez had Sterling, Gerrard,
Suarez have himself, man.
Yeah,
Suarez do it himself, man. Tear up the Premier League. Man.
Yeah, no, he's still tearing it up at Madrid. So
they
play through.
Yeah, definitely. Messi, Christie.
For me, Ronaldo.
Why? And
because Ronaldo, he's the ultimate player, and he's done it. He's proven himself in every league he's played in. Italy, Spain, England.
Fair enough. Stevie Gerrard is my all-time player, so so
Stevie G's a
legend
King, as well.
It's a pleasure to have you on the channel. I really
welcome,
appreciate it. It's very late now in England, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You take the time out to come share your journey with Ryan LFC. Big up to your family.
Big up.
Listen, tell Maria I need to give him I want to know his story too, so you need to set that link for me.
Keep doing your thing, youngster, man. I hope your channel grows and a lot of people, come and support your team. So anytime. But I'm gonna sign out.
Yeah, definitely. Enough love, King. One love.
All right, my brother.
Peace out.
Stay safe.